When the heroes of the Vrishni race began to speak repeatedly in this strain, Vasudeva uttered these words, pregnant with deep import and consistent with true morality. Gudakesha, by what he hath done, hath not insulted our family. He hath without doubt either enhanced or respect. Partha knoweth that we of the Sativata race are never mercenary. The son of Pandu regardeth a self-choice as doubtful in its results. Who would approve of accepting a breed in gift as if she were an animal? What man again is there on earth that won't sell his offspring? I think Arjuna, seeing these faults in all the other methods, took the maiden away by force, according to the ordinance. This alliance is very proper. Subhadra is a renowned girl. Partha too possesseth renown. Perhaps, thinking of all this, Arjuna hath taken her away by force. Who is there that would not desire to have Arjuna for a friend, who is born in the race of Mahabharata and the renowned Santanu, and the son of the daughter of Kunti Bhoja? I do not see in all the world with Indra and the Rudras the person that can by force vanquish Partha in battle, except the three-eyed god Mahadeva. His car is well known, yoked thereunto are those steeds of mine. Partha as a warrior is well known, and his lightness of hand is well known. Who shall be equal to him? Even this is my opinion. Go ye cheerful after the Dhananjaya, and by conciliation stop him and bring him back. If Partha goes to his seat after having vanquished us by force, our fame will be gone. There is no disgrace, however, in conciliation. Hearing those words of Vasudeva, they did as he directed. Stopped by them, Arjuna returned to Devaraka, and was united in marriage with Subhadra. Worshipped by the sons of Vrishni race, Arjuna, sporting there as he pleased, passed a whole year in Devaraka. The last year of his exile, the exalted one passed at the sacred region of Puskara. After the 12 years were completed, he came back to Kirandava Prastha. He approached the king first and then worshipped the Brahmanas with respectful attention. At last the hero went unto Draupadi. Draupadi, from jealousy, spoke unto him, saying, Why tarriest thou here, son of Kunti? Go where the doctor of the Sativata race is. A second time always relaxeth the first on upon a fagot. And Krishna lamented much in this strain. The Dhananjaya pacified her repeatedly, asked her forgiveness, and returning soon unto where Subhadra, attired in red silk, was staying Arjuna, sent her into the inner apartments, dressed not as a queen, but in the simple garb of a cold-haired woman. Arrived at that palace, the renowned Subhadra looked handsome in that dress. The celebrated Bhadra of large and disliked had eyes, first worshipped Pritha. Kunti, from excess of affection, smeared the head of that girl of perfectly faultless features, and pronounced infinite blessing upon her. Then that girl, of face like the full moon, hastily went unto Draupadi, and worshipped her, saying, I am thy maid. Krishna rose hastily and embraced the sister of Madhava from affection, and said, Let thy husband be without a fault. Bihadra then with a delighted heart said unto Draupadi, so be it. From that time those great warriors, the Pandavas, began to live happily, and Kunti became very happy. When that scorcher of foes, Kesava, of poor soul and eyes like lotus petals, heard that the foremost of the Pandavas, Arjuna, had reached his own excellent seat of Indraprastha, he came thither, accompanied by Hama and the other heroes and great warriors of the Vrishni and the Andihaka tribes, and by his brothers and sons and many other brave warriors, and Saurin came accompanied by a large army that protected him. And there came with Saurin that oppressor of foes, the exceedingly liberal Akrura of great intelligence, and Hinal, the generalissimo of the brave Vrishni host. And there came Anadihisti of great prowess, and Udava of great Hinal, great intelligence, great soul, and a disciple of Vidhihaspati himself. And there came Satyaka and Salyaki, and Kritavarman, Sativata, and Pradyumna, and Samva, Nishatiha, Sanku, and Sihahudesna, and Jahili of great prowess, and Vipritihu, and Sarana of might arms, and Gada, the foremost of learned men. These and many other Vrishnis and Bihosas and Andihakas came to Indraprastha, bringing with them many nuptial presents. King Yudhishthira, hearing that Madhava had arrived, set the twins out to receive him. Received by them, the Vrishni host of great prosperity entered Kirandava Prastha, well adorned with flags and insignias. The streets were well swept and watered, and decked with floral wreaths and bunches. These were again sprinkled over with sandalwood water that was fragrant and cooling. Every part of the town was filled with the sweet scent of burning aloes, and the city was full of joyous and health people, and adorned with merchants and traders. That best of men, Keshava, of might arms, accompanied by Hama and men of the Vrishnis and the Hakas and Bihosas, having entered the town, was worshipped by the citizens and Brahmanas by thousands. At last Keshava entered the palace of the king, which was like unto the mansion of Indra himself. Beholding Hama, Yudhishthira received him with two ceremonies. The king smelt the head of Keshava and embraced him. Govinda, gratified with the reception, humbly worshipped Yudhishthira. He paid homage unto Bhima, the tiger among men. Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, then received the other principal men of the Vrishni and the Haka tribes with due ceremonies. Yudhishthira reverentially worshipped some as his superior, and welcomed others as equals, and some he received with affection, and by some he was worshipped with reverence. Then his Hikesa of great renown gave unto the party of the bridegroom much wealth, and unto Subhadra he gave the nuptial present that had been given to her by her relatives. Krishna gave unto the Pandavas 1,000 cars of gold furnished with rows of bells, and unto each of which were put 4 steeds driven well-trained chariots. He gave unto them 10,000 cows belonging to the country of Matihura, and yielding much milk, and are of excellent complexion. Well pleased, Janardana gave them 1,000 maris with gold harness and of color white as the beams of the moon. He gave them 1,000 mules, all well trained and possessing the speed of the wind, of white color with black manes. And he of eyes like lotus petals gave unto them 1,000 damsels, well skilled in assisting at bathing and at drinking, young in years and virgins, all before their first season, well attired and of excellent complexion, each wearing 100 pieces of gold around her neck, of skins perfectly polished, decked with every ornament, and well skilled in every kind of personal service. Janardana gave unto them hundreds of thousands of drafts horses from the country of the Valhikas as Subhadra excellent doer. That foremost one of the Sarhahes gave unto Subhadra as her peculium 10 carrier loads of first-class gold, possessing the splendor of fire, some purified and some in a state of ore. And Hama, having the plug for his weapon, and always loving bravery, gave unto Arjuna as a nuptial present 1,000 elephants with secretions flowing in 3 streams from the 3 parts of their bodies, each large as a mountain summit, irresistibly embattled, decked with coverlets and ever-ring bells, well adorned with other golden ornaments, and equipped with excellent thrones on their backs, and that large wave of wealth and gems that the Yadavas presented, together with the cloths and blankets that represented its form, and the elephants, its alligators, and sharks, and the flags, its floating weeds, swelling into large proportions, mingled with the Pandu Ocean, and filled it to the brim, to the great sorrow of our foes. Yudhishthira accepted all those presents, and worshipped all those great warriors of the Vrishni and the Andihaka race, those illustrious heroes of the Kuru, the Vrishni, and the Andihaka race, passed their days in the pleasure and merriment, there like virtuous men in the celestial regions. The Kuru and the Vrishnis, with joyous hearts, amused themselves there, setting up at times loud shouts mingled with clapping of hands, spending many days in sports and merriment there, and worshipped by the Kuru all the while. The Vrishni heroes ended with great energy, then returned to the seat of the Varavati, and the great warriors of the Vrishni and the Andihaka race set out with Hama in the van, carrying with them those gems of the purest race that had been given them by those foremost ones of Kuru race. The high-souled Vasudeva remained there with Arjuna in the delightful seat of Indraprastha, and the illustrious one wandered over the banks of the Yamuna in search of deer, and he sported with Arjuna, piercing with his shafts deer and wild boars. Then Subhadra, the favorite sister of Kesava, gave birth to an illustrious son, like Puloma doctor, bringing forth Jayanta, and the son that Subhadra brought forth was of long arms, broad chest, and eyes as large as those of a bull. That hero and oppressor of foes came to be called Abhimanyu, and the son of Arjuna, that grinder of foes and bull among men, was called Abhimanyu, because he was fearless and wrathful. And that great warrior was begotten upon the daughter of the Sativata race by the Dhananjaya, like fire produced in a sacrifice from within the Sami wood by the process of rubbing. Upon the birth of this child, Yudhishthira, the powerful son of Kunti, gave away unto Brahmanas 10,000 cows and coins of gold. The child, from his earliest years, became the favorite of Vasudeva and of his father and uncles, like the mourn of all the people of the world. Upon his birth, Krishna performed the usual rites of infants. The child began to grow up like the moon of the bright fourth night. That grinder of force soon became conversant with the Vedas and acquired from his father the science of weapon, both celestial and human, consisting of 4 branches and 10 divisions. Endowed with great strength, the child acquired the knowledge of counteracting the weapons hurled at him by others, and great lightness of hand and flatness of motion, forward and backward and transverse and welling. Abhimanyu became like unto his father in knowledge of the scriptures and rites of religion. Dhananjaya, beholding his son, became filled with joy, like Mahabharat, beholding Arjuna. The latter beheld his son Abhimanyu and became exceedingly happy. Abhimanyu possessed the power of slaying every foe and bore on his person every auspicious mark. He was invisibly, imbately, and broad-shouldered as the bull, possessing a broad face as the snake. He was proud like the lion, wielding a large bow. His prowess was like that of an elephant in rout, possessed of a face handsome as the full moon, and the voice deep as the sound of the drum or the clouds. He was equal unto Krishna in bravery and energy, in beauty and in fierceness. The auspicious Panchali, from her 5 husbands, obtained 5 sons, all of whom were heroes of the foremost rank, and immovably, impatently, like the hills. Partivindihya, by Yudhishthira, Sutasoma, by Vrikodara, Srutakarman, by Arjuna, Satanika, by Nakula, and Srutasena, by Sahadeva. These were the 5 heroes and great warriors that Panchali brought forth like Aditi, bringing forth the Adityas. And the Brahmanas, from their foreknowledge, said unto Yudhishthira that, as the son of his would be capable of bearing like the Vindhya mountains the weapons of the foe, he should be called Prativindhya. And because the child that Draupadi bore to Bhishmasena was born after Bhishma had performed 1,000 Soma sacrifice, he came to be called Sutasoma. And because Arjuna's son was born upon his return from exile, during which he had achieved many celebrated feats, that child came to be called Srutakarman. While Nakula named his son Satanika, after a royal sage of that name, in the illustrious race of Kuru. Again, the son that Draupadi bore to Sahadeva was born under the constellation called Vani Daivata. Therefore was he called after the generalissimo of the celestial host, Srutasena. The sons of Draupadi were born, which at the interval of 1 year, and all of them became renowned and much attached to one another. All their rites of infants and childhood, such as Haranaharana and Upanayana, were performed by the Raumia according to the ordinance, all of them of excellent behavior and vows, after having studied the Vedas, acquired from Arjuna a knowledge of all the weapons, celestials and human. The Pandavas, having obtained sons, all of whom were equal unto the children of the celestials, and endowed with broad chests, and all of whom became great warriors, were filled with joy.